am gone, people will talk about me. They will sing about my praise, my wrongs, and my rights. These are the words of a young man that I'm here to pay tribute to. He's popularly known as Mohbad. When I first had that name, I was like, why would somebody want to appear, or answer bad? But a little delve into the young guy's life began to explain certain things about him. He said he got that name from one of his producers who recorded his third album, and after that the guy said, "Guy, you are bad." You know, that's a typical expression of young people in their exuberance. They give themselves nicknames and call themselves a lot of things. But this guy said, somebody said, "Guy, you are bad." And he said, Mohbad, Mo as in me, in the Yoruba parlance. And he actually looked for a phrase to make good the meaning of that expression when he now said, "Mo bright and destined. I am bright and destined." That reminds me of when my son first said, "Mommy, I'm a goat." When he said, "I'm a goat," I'm like, what? What do you mean by you are a goat? He laughed me to scorn. And then he says, greatest of all times. He likes football and he talks about Messi, talks about Ronaldo, talks about all the famous football players and their achievements and how they are being called goats. And a lot of people have people they call goats. So that is that for young people and the way they choose to express themselves this time. So for a young man who says, "Mohbad, I am bright and destined," I started looking into his life. And I'm here to pay tribute to that young man because I feel that is something I should do. For someone who roots for young people and is so much interested in social justice, there's this public outcry in the past few days over the demise of Mohbad. I will still choose to call him that name since he already explained it as what he wants to be his fate, what he wishes himself to be bright and destined. So I'm not going to attach any sentiments to that. I'm going to leave it the way it is and the name he gave it. Because actually, I'm not a fan of people calling themselves funny names, because whatever you call yourself follows you. But it's a coincidence that those letters came together to look like something negative. But in this instance, I'm going to leave it, taking it for what the owner called it. Unfortunately, that guy didn't live to fulfill the grace on his life, because I started looking into the life of Mohbad and I discovered that he's somebody that carries grace. He is somebody that carries some level of grace. Yes, I will say that. Because in this life, we all carry certain energy. But the Bible will say that time and chance happens to them all. Happening to them all. Like whatever happens to you or what you turn out to be will be a function of where you find yourself at a point in time and how you're able to use those energies to interface with where you are. And then I will also say that in life, there are so many things we don't choose or we don't have control over. We don't have control over who our parents are. We don't have control over where we find ourselves, at least for the first inception when we are born, the families we come into. That will determine the religion we practice. That will determine how we see life. That will determine a lot of things that will be our orientation. And for this young man, he happened to carry grace that I have seen. For people who can discern, if you are spiritual enough to discern, you will discover that despite all that became of this guy, he carries a grace that never saw the light of the day. And that's what I talk about, time and chance, as the Bible puts it. This is a young man who started out as a carpenter, and before you know it, he feels he has another energy within. He has another talent and something to showcase to the world. And he went into music, looking for a platform to unleash what God has deposited in him. That is where choice is coming. It is not whatever is readily available that you latch onto. And then I think one of the advice Mohbad gave in this video, I'm going to show you now, summarizes it all. Watch this clip.
Don't rush. Yeah. That thing is crazy. You can be on the move. Like, I'm not saying you should not work hard, but don't rush, because there are better places you can be. So when you are rushing, you might just miss where you are going to, and you find yourself in a different.
That's
just believe in what you do and work towards properly, like work in sight, so you won't get into some kind of stupid shit. Because not everybody get out of it.
Yes. In that clip, he talked about not being too fast to miss opportunities. You know, we want to hit it big. We want to make it. We compare ourselves in life, and we feel like others are faster than us. But he says you should not bother about being so fast, because you will also miss opportunities in the process of being fast. I think this has also happened to him. It's so unfortunate. I weep. You know why I weep? I weep because he never made good the grace of God upon his life. And to think that at a time when he's beginning to discover himself, when he's beginning to retrace his steps, when he's beginning to feel like, I didn't choose the right platform. Yes, back to what I was saying, the guy needed a platform to unleash what God has put in him. And then he latched onto what was readily available. Within his locality, he joined the Malian record label. Talking about Mali, Naira Marley, that guy has been very controversial. When he first started those days, he became so controversial because of the music he played. I think then it was some of these songs. I think Josopi was one of them, and it was Josopi. And then there was this leg dance, and then you see him swiping his penis to suggest masturbation. That song was a song that I personally frowned out, and the public also frowned at it. At least people that have values did, because it demonstrated something that I would say is destroying a lot of young people. And you know, songs and the strength they carry a lot of strength. Like, at first people frown, and before you know it, the sound is being enjoyed. Before you know it, many people are singing it. Before you know it, everything about it is forgotten, is all entertainment, and it flies. And indirectly, it's shaping our narratives. And then that record label sweeping in young people, streets vibes. If you live in Lagos and you have this interest in the streets and street credibility and what have you, you will know what I'm talking about when it comes to the Malian group and the influence they have on young people. And unfortunately, this young chap found himself there, and just as at when he's trying to find his feet, retrace his step, find that there is something in me that I need to protect and to use, the devil didn't allow him. You know, there's one thing about darkness: when it spots good, talent, and greatness, it will go ahead to quench it. That's one thing about darkness, and it will not give the person the chance to evolve, because that chance will save a lot of people. And to think that at the beginning of this year, this young chap lit a candle to consolidate another name he's known for, Imole, light. When it's obvious he's beginning to retrace his step and to find his way back and to get into his real personality and what God has destined for him, he lit that candle, and the devil never wanted that light to shine. That's one thing about the devil. He doesn't have a free gift. When he gives you something, he takes another in exchange. And then he's not going to give you the opportunity to even make a change, to even find your feet to come back. My heart goes out to FOR MOHBAD and his family. I'm so hurt and broken because I see him as someone God would have used to cause a change in his circles. And you know one thing, there are few people you will see misbehaving now, but if you have a discerning spirit and you're praying for them, you know that there is something about them that might still cause a shift in their generation positively. When I look at the kind of the guy I'm talking about, I look at somebody like James Brown, I look at young people who, either because of handling, exposures, were not able to channel their energies properly. And you know one thing about the energy I talked about, if you channel the energy you have to godly patterns, it will produce good results. But if you channel the same energy to rascality, it will also produce results, but maybe in the negative aspect. And this record label that this guy took as a platform would later become the platform that will lead to, or anyway, I won't totally say that, at least at this point, when the police saying they are launching an investigation and they want to find out what happens, let's believe that. But you know how it is.
We have needs to identify individuals, which could be wider. We will pick on whoever we believe from investigation is linked, and we will encourage such a person or bring such a person within the dictates of the law to come and clarify their level of involvement. Whoever, wherever you are in this world, do not forget, we have a unique assets in Interpol. So I don't for now want to limit and start mentioning specific individuals. Everybody linked to it will be identified and they will be brought to establish their level of liability.
I don't want to insinuate anything, but at this point, every finger is pointing to this record label that this guy signed into. And then as at the time he wants to leave, you know, every bad thing has been associated with this group and they didn't want him to leave. And this would later lead to the series of events that will lead to his demise. As the importance of choices, the choices we make in life. Choices, very important. Choices, very important. And I still believe within me that God wants to use this whole happening to create a shift from those circles. And you know one thing about this life, I tell people that if you cannot learn from the experiences of others, you cannot learn from what happens to others, then you are not wise. And I believe that young people in making decisions would look at the experiences of those who have gone before them to be able to make right choices. And for Mohbad, I wish you can come back. I personally miss you. I personally wish you made good the grace of God upon your life. I personally wish it never happened. I keep imagining the last show he had. I keep imagining the last moment, whether in the hospital or whatever, what actually happened. These are the questions on everybody's mind. And you know, the dead is dead. Nothing is going to bring him back. That is where it's so heartbreaking. Nothing is going to bring him back. And this is somebody that is saying, whether I'm going to live long, Oluwa or more, God knows. Should I say rest in peace? Or should I say may this not happen again? That brings us back to our justice system. I saw that he made a report about 3 months back concerning the threats to his life.
I'm just trying to ask, like I'm a bad boy. Now my mama saw I don't really mean it like that from my mind. You mean it there. So I don't know these people are behaving on me. They have been doing bad things on me. I went mad into it because of this issue. Now they are trying to everybody in the whole world, please help me if I oh, Amalia me, Amalia kill me. I beg, if I die like this,
Oh, guys, stop this now. What's wrong with you?
I beg, I never started talk. No worry. Make sure they go our house. Oh yeah, call here.
When somebody makes a report and then it's like our police system is make the report, just drop it there until something happens to you so that we'll come back to the reports. While in Senate crimes, when people make police reports and make complaints, they swing into actions and try to check what this person is talking about and the potential damage before it even happens. Unfortunately for us, we wait until it happens. We now refer to the report the person made. The streets of Lagos are agog. If you are somebody who live in Lagos or lived in Lagos, you will understand what I am talking about. How this guy's music has influence on a lot of young people. There's hardly a keke or keke nape, what they call keke nape, or tricycle driver in the streets that don't play their music or dance to their jams or whatever. It's like a walk tune. When people are walking, driving, all that, they just play those things. The vibes, it brings them.
They are saying there's nothing that's going to happen. I just want to give you guys that it has started already. Justice have started already. So promoters have started reaching out to me. So they're going to start from promoters. They're going to, for now, I think Nigerians is going to be cancelled. According to them, they're going to reach out to no promoter should give him any job for now. Because with all the evidence we have outside of assaults, because at the end of the day, the story is like a shepherd who chased the sheep out and also sent the wolves to attack the sheep. So that is a simple story of what we are seeing today. And the sheep got devoured by the wolves and the lion that was sent by the same shepherd who was supposed to be protecting the sheep. So Mohbad was a sheep of light. So a lot of people, oh, why are you talking about this stuff? Why am I taking this personal? Because a lot of people have died like this without justice. But now, the government, even though they don't solve the problem, there are people in diaspora that want to solve the problem. So what do? So all over all the region, all the promoters in the world, they're going to send petition and send all the assault to all the embassies in the world. So let him remain in Nigeria for now, whatever country is right now, until this case is solved. Because I don't know, the war we have is an accomplice. Because you don't need to go this far because of jealousy or someone who wants to leave you. So the story is like the story of Pharaoh. When the Israel wanted to leave Egypt and God had to do so many things, and finally the Israelites had to go. And while they were going, when they got to the Red Sea, in the middle of the Red Sea, Pharaoh now sent his chariots. But this time around, these chariots succeeded to destroy the body, but they could not destroy the soul because they went to touch light, and light when they go touch, it is shock.
And then just about the time, it's like, I don't want to toe the path of rascality. I do not want to toe the path of cultism. I do not want to toe the path of drugs. I do not want to toe the path of insanity. Boom, the death comes and sweeps him away. Like you're never going to have the opportunity to retrace your steps. Some people are fortunate to find themselves back, but others are not fortunate. It's really unfortunate.
You must own your first life for this one. I go on my own. It's been a long day. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ, can I dedicate this one to Mohbad? Rest in peace. Imole, rest in peace. We love you. God love you better. DJ, can I say, Imole, I love you, but God love you more. Can I see you when just touch the worm? Let Imole see. Remember this year, where you did? Damn. Remember this year. Good things we do. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another man. I know we love it. You can go to mad, but something's coming that it wouldn't last. Had to switch this up. One is dedicated to Mohbad from DJ KY. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. Let me hear you sing this song in silence. Sing this song in silence. Sing in silence.
Rest in peace. bright and destined.